Hey everyone, Ryan from STEDI Lighting here. I'm here to talk about the Powersport SMART Harness. Today we're going to be installing one on this BMW Adventure Tourer here and this Can-Am Maverick side by side. So the first place we're going to start with the bike is the cowling and the seat. This is going to be where we're going to be doing most of the fitment. On this particular bike, the battery is up at the top where the fuel tank normally is. Most motorcycles tend to have the battery under the seat. So we'll get onto that and we'll start laying out our harness. Beginning of the cowl removal, we started with the seat. Now to get the rest of the cowling off, we have to remove these trims here, the indicator assemblies. From there, now that they're off, we can pull off the rest of the cowl pieces. Now that we've removed all the cowling from the bike, we can start looking at how we're going to lay the Powersport harness out. As I said before, the bike's battery is up here, so we're going to have to consolidate a lot of the wiring up in this section up here. So the Powersport's made up of a series of different wires and connections. Up at this end we have the relay and the fuse and the actual smart part of the Powersport SMART Harness. We've got our positive and negative battery connections here and here, our piggyback adapter connection point, and our fuse. On the other end, we have our switch, a handlebar mounted switch, our two unfitted Deutsch connectors. They're unfitted because it allows for you to get the wiring through narrow parts on the bike or on the vehicle that you're fitting it to. And then the Deutsch connectors are included in the packaging as well. So you fit them up at the end. So the Powersport's got two white T connectors, and these are used for high beam triggering. It has an application to trigger with or without a piggyback adapter, depending on what application you're using it for. For legal on-road use, they have to be triggered by the high beams, in which case you would connect a piggyback adapter onto this and then to the back of the headlight of the vehicle. For off-road applications or private property applications, you have the option here to disconnect this cap, join them together, and essentially it creates a bypass. So if you're on your property and you have no need for the high beam of the vehicle, just the light, you have that option as well. So the first place we're going to start is an appropriate place to put the main body of the harness itself. In this circumstance, I'm going to mount it somewhere along here, but we're just going to do it as a test fitting to begin with before we even think about mounting anything or securing anything down. Now that we've got a suitable place to mount the main part of the harness, we're going to start routing the cabling through and looking for suitable ways to get the cabling through the rest of the bike. This is where having the unfitted connections on the plugs come in real handy, because there are a number of narrow spaces on this bike and lots of other bikes where a DT or a Deutsch connector just wouldn't fit properly. Another really important thing to note, especially with bikes, is that you need to make sure that wherever you're routing the cabling, it's away from as many moving parts as possible. Especially when it comes to the forks, you want to make sure it's completely unimpeded for when you're turning. So the next step of the fitment is to gain access to the headlight itself for piggyback adapter fitment. In this particular instance, it's a full disassembly essentially of this front end, the fairing, and then the removal of the assembly here. So we're going to do that now. So we've removed the headlight housing now and we've exposed the H4 globe and T10 Parker globe. So while we're here, we're also going to convert these to LED as well. In order to fit the globe itself, you have to remove the collar from the globe, mount it in place first. There's usually a retaining ring or a clip that holds the collar in place, and then you insert the globe and twist it into place. The most common alignment is for the globe to be in a north-south configuration with the LEDs on each side. So twist, remove, like so. collar then goes there, and this piece, like that. So now we're up to piggyback adapter fitment. In the case of this bike, it'll be a H4 piggyback adapter, which will just plug in line with the factory wiring. Piggyback fitment goes basically like this. You've got your factory globe here, or in this case, our LED globe. It plugs into this end of the piggyback adapter and snaps into place. It will be a tight fit. And then this other end here connects onto the factory wiring of the motorcycle. Just like that. For the moment, this T-piece won't be connected. We'll get onto that soon. All right, now that we've got the piggyback adapter in, we can talk about reinstalling the componentry back onto the motorcycle. Before we reassemble everything, just want to make sure that we can still access the wiring, so the piggyback adapter plug, for example, and just make sure that it's still accessible before we keep going. So now we can look at a place to mount the switch on the handlebars. The Powersport itself has what we call a quick connect, which means you can unscrew it, disconnect it, and then that makes it a much easier piece to feed through the bike or through the vehicle. Now that we've mounted the push switch on the handlebars, we can route the cabling through for the main connection. With our exposed piggyback adapter section here, we're going to connect the other side of the harness to that piggyback adapter. Now that we've laid the harness out and fitted it and found a space for everything, we can begin to reassemble the bike itself. Now we're going to look at the install for the Can-Am side-by-side. Now for the Can-Am, we've decided to use two Powersports harnesses, one for the ST3301 41-inch and the other for our Evo 4-inch minis at the front. On the Can-Am, the battery is actually located behind the passenger seat inside the vehicle. So we had to slide the seats forward and backwards to gain a bit more access and run the cabling through the transmission tunnel and then up along the roll bar as well for the light bar. So as previously mentioned, the Powersports harness comes with a handlebar mounted switch. However, for some vehicles like this Can-Am, the handlebar switches aren't as suitable, but it has a lot of provisions for carling type switches. So a little differently to the motorcycle, on the Can-Am we fitted the Powersports with the bypass activated instead of high beam triggered. That allows for easy activation of the lights for off-road use at any time.